Iran has intensified its persecution of the Baha'is, handing down nearly 1,500 years in prison terms, stripping livelihoods and blocking education, the harshest repression of any religious minority. Branded heretics, they are targets of a regime that uses religion as a weapon, mirroring its wider post-2022 crackdown marked by executions, sham trials, and collective punishment. The Iranian Baha'i community has faced systematic repression, arrests, and nearly 1,500 years in prison sentences over the past 5 years, according to the human rights activists' news agency, Harana. The Iran International reported that at least 284 Baha'is were arrested and 270 were summoned to security or judicial institutions in Iran between August 2020 and 2025. The US-based rights group said on August 11th. Other violations of Baha'i rights in Iran over the same period included 419 cases of home searches, 147 trials, 127 travel bans, 108 prison sentence enforcements, 106 denials of education, and 57 restrictions on economic activities, it added. The Baha'i faith emerged in 19th century Persia, challenging Islamic orthodoxy with its teachings on universal religion and progressive revelation. Iranian authorities perceive it as a threat to religious and political control, calling it a false religion and a cult. Over the past 5 years, 388 Baha'is in Iran have been sentenced by judicial or security institutions to a total of 17,948 months of imprisonment, Harana reported, equivalent to 1,495 years and 8 months. Additionally, 91 individuals were fined about $12 million, and 103 were deprived of social rights. 25 individuals were sentenced to 600 months of exile, Harana said. Many Baha'i prisoners received long-term sentences during this period, often without fair trial procedures and based on charges such as propaganda against the regime or forming illegal groups. The figures include 17,324 months of mandatory imprisonment and 624 months of suspended sentences. The Harana report identified 2023 as the most repressive year, with 162 documented violations, and 2024 as having the highest number of arrests, 76, and a total of 5,220 months of imprisonment. Beyond judicial prosecution, Baha'is in Iran face other forms of repression, including economic and educational exclusion, interference with burials, cemetery destruction, and property confiscation, Harana reported. The pressure and harassment have intensified in recent years, with Baha'is facing more security and judicial actions than any other religious minority in Iran. Over the past 3 years, an average of 72% of all reported religious minority rights violations in Iran have targeted Baha'is, Harana reported. The Baha'i faith is a monotheistic religion founded in the 19th century by Baha'u'llah in Iran. It teaches the unity of all religions and the oneness of humanity. Baha'is believe that God has revealed himself progressively through major religious figures, including Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, Krishna, Buddha, Zoroaster, the Bab, and Baha'u'llah, each bringing teachings suitable for the time and place of their appearance. The Baha'i faith originated in Iran, a country with a Shia Muslim majority. Many Islamic clerics saw the Baha'i proclamation of a new prophet after Muhammad as heresy. From the outset, Baha'u'llah and his followers faced severe opposition and persecution, including arrests, imprisonment, and executions. Since the rise of the Islamic Republic in 1979, systematic persecution of the Baha'is has intensified. The 1979 Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Iran recognizes only Islam, Christianity, Judaism, and Zoroastrianism as official religions. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has on several occasions called the Bahá'í faith a cult, and in a 2018 religious fatwa, he forbade contact, including business dealings with its followers. Iran's Ministry of Intelligence said in July that it had made arrests targeting the Bahá'í religious minority, evangelical Christians, foreign-based dissidents, Sunni Muslim jihadists, separatists, monarchists, and media organizations acting in league with Israel as part of its post-war crackdown. Iranian authorities enforce policies specifically aimed at blocking Bahá'í community progress, denying access to higher education, government employment, pensions, and even barring Bahá'í children from schools. Baha'is are not recognized as a legitimate religious minority in the Iranian constitution, unlike Christians, Jews, and Zoroastrians, so they lack basic citizenship rights and legal protection. The regime has destroyed Bahá'í holy sites, confiscated property, and restricted religious practice. The 1991 secret memorandum, signed by Iran's supreme leader, outlines explicit state policy to curtail the rights and opportunities of Baha'is in all spheres of life. The Baha'is are subjected to state-backed suppression in Iran due to theological, social, and ideological reasons, with government policies explicitly aimed at repressing every aspect of their communal and individual lives. Meanwhile, the US State Department on August 12th condemned Iran's death sentences against protesters from the 2022 Woman, Life, Freedom protest movement, warning that at least 11 people face imminent execution.
The United States of America calls on Iran to immediately halt these executions, release all those unjustly detained, and end its campaign of repression against those seeking their fundamental freedoms.
In 2022, protests erupted nationwide in Iran after the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Jina Amini in police custody after she allegedly violated hijab rules. Hundreds of demonstrators were killed and thousands arrested in a sweeping crackdown. Demonstrator Mojahed Abbas Kurkur was hanged in June after what Amnesty International decried as a sham trial. The rights group said he was subjected to enforced disappearance, tortured into making televised confessions, and denied a lawyer during the investigation. His execution, it added, was utterly appalling and aimed to crush dissent and instill fear. Last week, two Kurdish brothers from western Iran, civil activist Amirali Zakarifard, 44, and his brother Ahmad, who were charged for their participation in the 2022 protests, were sentenced to a combined 65 years in prison and 148 lashes. Rights groups say the charges include insulting Islamic sanctities and assembly and collusion against national security. They say the recent wave of repression is not only linked to the Woman, Life, Freedom protests, but has also intensified under the pretext of security following a June war with Israel, disproportionately targeting ethnic and religious minorities. Between June 13th and August 10th, the Center for Human Rights in Iran, CRI, documented at least 58 arrests and 8 new death sentences, including several people from the Kurdish minority. Since 2022, Iranian authorities have executed 11 people over the Woman, Life, Freedom protests, with many more at risk.